Hi, Ken Fires. Step 2, VA benefits. And you've made it to step 2. Hopefully, you've understood the concept of step 1, how we deal with the service. Step 2, getting right into it, is about, and this confuses people a little bit, so we're going to take a little bit of time here, the income statement. The income statement. Now, if you came into our office and we were doing your income statement, it would be income minus expenses. Income minus expenses. However, that's not the definition that the VA uses. Their definition of the income statement is income minus medical expenses. Medical expenses. So, at this time, and I'm going to explain this, a couple things that we need to know and we have to determine before we go further. Number one, where is mom and dad, or mom or where's dad going to stay? Where are they going to be housed at? This is what the VA wants to know. Are they going to be in an assisted living? Are they going to be in a nursing home? Are they going to be in independent living? Or are they staying in their own home or with family? All of these need to be determined ahead of time because there's a different approach, there's a different process of what we have to do. And then the second thing that we need to know at this time is, well, it's not really we have to know, it's just a term that they bring in that you have to be familiar with. And that word, that term, is spend down. SPENDDOWN, spend down, which is more of a Medicaid term. Medicaid uses it on income and net worth. VA only uses it here on the income statement. And what it means is exactly what it says. You must spend down. So in relaying it to our definition of the income statement is you must spend down medical. You must spend down your income with medical. So it's a spend down. The VA, if you're living at home or an independent living, they don't care if you have electric bills or phone bills or food bills. It must be a full medical expense. So let me give you an example of how this works. And then I'll use the two, assisted living and home health care, living at home. So in assisted living, what we found out in the VA guidelines is once you move into an assisted living, that constitutes a 100% medical write-off. So let me give you an example. Let's say dad, the veteran, his income is $1,700 total, and he's got a $200 pension. So he's got $1,700 Social Security, $200 pension, $1,900 income, and the cost at the assisted living is $2,500. Well, that assisted living is higher than his income, and that assisted living is a medical expense, so that exceeds his income, so he's approved. That's how they're looking at it. That's how they're breaking it down. The medical expense must be equal to or greater than the income coming in. So, what do we do in the case of them living at home or in an independent living facility? Well, they don't have a luxury of having a full medical write-off. So what do? What do you do and how do you handle it? There's two ways to deal with it for people living at home or in independent living. Number one is in-home health care through an aide. They might be paying for an aide. They might be paying for this service. And that usually will help them spend down their income. And then the other format that can be used and looked at closely, but it is a little bit difficult. So we take every situation different and we analyze this to find out if it can be done, where you use a family member as a caregiver or a personal service agreement. So doing a caregiver to spend down the income is acceptable. So we will get more into that, and we can answer your questions on that. You can give me your specifics, and we will discuss it and go over that and show you how that works and how we get that to be approved and accepted. So we're spending down income with medical. Spending down income with medical. Now, one thing you got to be careful of. Do not use, in this part of the formula, do not use income from investments, from interest, because that can be done on the net worth side. Remember, there's many ways to take income. People say, well, mom or dad, they need this income, and it's understandable. But there's many ways to take income. I am a registered investment advisor, and we can help you in that matter. We can show you the different ways to take income where it doesn't hurt this formula. Income minus medical expenses. So we want as low as income really as possible, but caregivers and in-home health care, sometimes these bills are very high and very expensive, and definitely on the increase. So that covers pretty much what we want to look in today as step 2 as the income statement. The income statement. Remember, you'll be receiving a couple emails going forward that deals with, we're looking for questions, and if you have any questions, just send them over to us. We'll be happy to address them. Step 3 coming up is pretty simple and it's pretty easy, and we'll be dealing with that in our next session. So that's it for today. And again, any questions, you have our number, and give us a call. And I hope this was very helpful to you today.